Hey neighbor, it's me, Angie. It's Sunday morning. I think it's about 60 degrees, if I'm not mistaken. Same view, different day. What are y'all doing this morning? Is anybody up? We'll see if anybody comes in. The new paved road looks really good. Everyone must be sleeping in on this Sunday morning. This is the day that the Lord hath made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Giving thanks for waking up to another day. Thank you for the like. Appreciate it. Hey Ryan, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome to my neighborhood. It's cool this morning. I'm thinking it's like 60 degrees. Hey David, welcome in. I'm on my first cup of coffee. But the weird thing is, I've been awake since about 5 o'clock or earlier. I think I woke up and then stayed awake a few minutes, went back to sleep, woke back up at 5. Hello, Prim. Oh, you're from India? Welcome in. Birds are singing this morning. I'm from the United States in the state of Mississippi. Thank you. Why, Wachaka, Wachakaya? Loving your channel as always. The bestie. Welcome in, y'all. Oh, you're in Alabama? You're in Roll Tide territory. Yeah, you're in the SEC, but our household roots for the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, and LSU. We're not Alabama fans, but welcome into the channel. You think Indian people? I don't understand. Thank you. The birds will be feeding here in a minute. My bluebirds usually come out They did yesterday morning. I was on yesterday morning, and they came out. I have more flowers blooming this morning. I got to get some more coffee in me. What's going on in y'all's world? Do y'all drink coffee? No, not showing my face. You can go to my channel. You can see my face. I don't have any makeup on, and I look rough, and I don't like to go on camera looking rough. Oh, the birds are out. Here they come. It's the bluebirds perching on that green part of that uh, train thing in that flower bed. Let me see if I can get closer to that. That's a bluebird. Yeah, that's a bluebird. I think that's the male. He's about to go get food. He and his female bluebird build a home in that penthouse birdhouse is what we call it, the one at the top. Oh, there he goes. There's one over there now. You can see it. I knew they would start feeding. They got a little nest in there with little newborn birds, and they go get food and feed them. Fly off in just a second and go back and get more food. See there? He flew off. He'll be back in a minute with more food. That thing right there, I'm going to hang my hummingbird feeders on. I just put that up in my yard. I'm going to use that for my hummingbird feeders. I don't think I've seen but one hummingbird so far this year. I have 15 and 20 hummingbirds come at one time once I get my feeders up, but I hadn't got my feeders up yet. Uh-oh, going back in the house. I tell you what, that male bird is faithful to his family. I usually only go live in the mornings on the weekend. During the week, I don't usually go live this early in the morning. I usually go live later in the afternoon on either Wednesday or Thursday. Oh gosh, here comes my neighbor. He must be walking for his health. He's got his little doggy with him. You won't believe this, but that man right there taught me geometry in high school. Well, actually, he taught me algebra and geometry. Yep, his name is Mr. Davis, my geometry teacher. I did okay in math in school, but I didn't like math. I didn't care for math. I liked English and literature, writing, spelling, reading. I didn't care for math. I only became interested in history when I married my husband. And we won't even talk about science. Oh, no, we won't even talk about science. Welcome in to the neighborhood. Everybody must be sleeping in this morning. What time is it in India? Have you already lived Sunday? Are you on Monday now? Welcome in, welcome in. My flowers are smelling so good. I opened this door and I could just smell the fragrance of my flowers. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Oh, I waved. When he passed by, I waved. Nakia. He spoke and I stuck my hand up and waved. He and his wife live in that house that's got the house furthest away that's kind of orange around uh the roof. That's where he lives. Oh yeah, he's retired. Actually, he's a preacher now. He went from a math teacher to a preacher. That was a leap. What's the weather where y'all are? It's cool here. I figure it'll be in the lower 80s today. We better take advantage of it because I don't think next week it's going to stay in the 80s. It's about to get warm. It is about to warm up, people. Looks like all my neighbors are still asleep. James will be home in about an hour. My daughter and grandson will be out after church. Actually, I love getting up early in the morning. But about 11:30 or 12, I am ready for a little small cat nap. I can sleep about 30 to 45 minutes and I'm good to go. Is that Mr. Davis coming back this way? It looks like he's coming back this way. Oh, it is. Got a new paved road, too. Yeah, that's true. Well, hello, Mike. How are you doing? How is it in your neck of the woods, Mike? I guess we older people are the only ones that are awake this early in the morning on a Sunday. I'm about to finish up my first cup of coffee. Doing great, thanks. I'm in Florida until next Friday. Think it must rain here every day. Oh no, Mike. We have, oh my gosh, we have had so much rain this past few months that I told James I have never known it to rain as much as it has. You could expect rain. April showers bring May flowers. I mean, you can. That's always a saying, but I mean, it's been raining since last October. Thank you, South African. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. I live in northern Missouri. It's pretty dry there. Well, Mike, we've been getting some crazy rain. And James planted the garden, which it's doing the garden's doing well, and it got a lot of sun yesterday. We're already getting squash and bell pepper and banana pepper from the garden, but I hadn't been able to go out there and do a garden video, which we were on vacation the first of the week. We went to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and we do every year for our wedding anniversary and my birthday, and stay on the coast for 3 or 4 days. So we were gone. Mike, do you drive a truck? Is that what you do for a living? Or I might be mistaking you for someone else. I know you have dogs. that you hunt with. I know that. James used to train Labrador retrievers to retrieve ducks. He did that, and he did, you know, he was in competitions and all this stuff. No, I'm retired, and yes, I hunt raccoon hounds. Um, James has been hunting. Oh, labs are such sweet dogs, and they are so smart. We had Rowdy, Deuce, Casper. Then we had a little poodle that lived 16 years named Domino. And then we had Lulu that was a little half Chihuahua. Oh, there's the bird. But after our last fur baby passed away, I just told James I couldn't. There's the bird perched up on that. Rowdy was a black lab. Casper was a white lab. Deuce was kind of light brown, tan looking. Um, and they lived a good long life. Good long life. Domino lived to be 16 years old. Lulu lived to be probably around 14. We were talking about this yesterday morning when I went live about how you get so attached to dogs that it's not even funny. You can cry like a baby when something happens to them. Our male lab Duke is wonderful, but Ellie, on the other hand, is probably the least smart dog. We had a dog named Duke after John Wayne. That's what we named our. That's why his name was Duke, because of John Wayne. The only female dog we ever had was Lulu, and she just come up to our house one day and never left. And we tried to find her owner, put out flyers, and we live in a little small town, so either somebody dropped her off and didn't want her anymore, or I don't know where her owner was, but she just wandered up here, and of course she was pregnant. She had two little puppies, one lived, one didn't, and my neighbor got the puppy that lived. And then Bella showed up here, and my son was like, I want her. So 9 days later, she had 9 puppies. So we had 9 puppies to get rid of. But he still has Bella, and she's probably 8 or 9 years old. And he lives in Louisiana. And when we went there the other weekend to watch my granddaughter in a dance recital, she was getting so gray. I said, oh, bless your heart, Bella. You're getting old like the rest of us. Ellie is an amazing mama. We raised 2 litters from her, 13 in the first one and 11 in the second one. Oh my goodness. 13 and 11? Woo wee. Bless her heart. I know she was tired after feeding all those puppies. How old is Ellie now? Oh, she just turned 5? Oh, she's got a few more years. She's good to go. She's in her prime. She is in her prime. Birds are back. Oh, she's a silver lab. Duke is a yellow lab. You know, our Duke was a yellow lab, but we've never had a silver lab. Nope. I don't even know if I've ever seen a silver lab. That's interesting. I'll have to look that up once I get offline. A silver lab. I bet that's pretty. Is a silver lab rare? Are they rare or is that a common lab? Is a silver lab common? Blue Jays fighting this morning. How can you wake up fighting? They're not really common. I didn't think so because as many years that we dealt with labs, I never heard of a silver lab. That is interesting. I bet they're pretty though. What do you have to mix to get a silver lab? That makes me curious now. I was saying yesterday that this is an election year for our little town, and our mayor is running again for re-election. And of course, he's paving roads and doing things that he was supposed to do when he first got in office. But you know, they wait till election year before they start making improvements. I wish they would have come down and paved my driveway when they were paving. Yeah, it's funny how that works. You're right. I've lived on this corner for, oh my gosh, 36 years. Maybe a little over 36 years because the first year James and I were married, we lived in some we lived in an apartment. Yeah, this has been my neighborhood for 36 years. And I'm going to tell you what, these houses are coming up empty because a lot of my neighbors are passing away. New people are, that house right across, that house right there with that tree in front of it, that house is empty. The house behind me over here, when you go out my back door, that house is empty. Um, it's isn't it crazy that cost of things? Oh, look, when James and I bought our house 36 years ago, we were just like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna uh pay all that? A house note, car payments, light bill, phone bill. We were just like, how are we gonna do it? But of course, you always managed to do it. And we thought when we bought our house, it was just, oh my gosh, what it cost and all this stuff. And my son and daughter-in-law just built a brand new house. And I about fainted when they told me how much they paid to build their house, which they live in Louisiana, but still. And don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful home. You hear me? It's beautiful. But the only thing I don't like about it is in a subdivision. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't live that close to somebody. I mean, you can walk out on the sides of his house. He can go down the side of his house and reach his hands out and probably almost touch the other house. And these are houses that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and maybe even some of them are million. Do you think I would pay that much for a house and not put it on private acreage, like 10 to and above acreage? I would not put it in a subdivision. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. When we tell our children how much that we paid for our house when we first moved in it, they are just like, no way. Because when James and I first moved in and bought our home, it was $55,000. And now vehicles cost $55,000. And both of our children have bought their own homes. And they were like, and you thought that was a lot of money? I said, back in 1990, wait a minute, Matt was 3. Back in 1993, that was a lot of money, thank you. And I always said I was never going to pay more for my vehicle than I paid for my house. Because James drives a 4-wheel drive truck. He's always had one. Since we've been married 38 years, he's always driven a 4-wheel drive truck. It's just something about Southern men have to have a 4-wheel drive truck, or it may be just men in general. But he never buys a brand new one. He bought a brand new one time over 38 years of marriage. I know, isn't that crazy? 40,000 and 40 acres. I know, it just does not happen. James and I have been looking for land for the last 7 years here in our area because James wants to get back to the country because he was brought up in the country. And he wanted at least 100 to 120 acres of land. Well, in our area, people are not letting go of land. If they want to sell it, it's for sale, not on sale. So for 7 years, we hadn't been able to find that much land. We were going to... Here comes the morning train. Same around your area. People aren't letting go of land. They're just not letting go of it. Oh. But I told James, I said, if we bought it and built a home on it, listen to that morning train. It's loud this morning. When something happened to James and myself, here it comes. If we bought that much land and built a home, and when James and I have probably 20 more years maybe of good life to live, neither one of our children would want that property. They would not want it. And all they would do was sell it for pennies on the dollar to get rid of it. And, because they already have a home. They already bought their own home, and, they don't want that much acreage. So I told James, I was like, we might as well just stay here. When you retire, just travel some, do whatever we want to do. And when we pass away, they can do with whatever they want to do with this house, which they'll sell it and divide the money. I don't look for either one of them to live here either. Um, right, just be content, exactly. We're going to do a little more to this house now that we decided that we're not going to buy acreage and build another home. So we wasn't doing anything to this house because we were trying to find somewhere else, and we didn't want to do a lot of handicap improvements to this house and then move to somewhere else. But we're going to start doing some improvements as far as handicap because of me being in a wheelchair. We're going to put a sidewalk right there all the way around the house. We're going to build a sidewalk. We have 3 acres in the country. I absolutely love it. Well, since we've been married, James has always been in a lease with other members, his best friends and stuff, as far as hunting. So he's always had a place to hunt. Always. But if we had all the money that he has paid out to lease land over 38 years, if you put the pencil to it, which I would hate to put the pencil to it, to know how much he has actually spent on paying for a part of a lease to hunt, we could probably live in, it ain't no telling what kind of home. But I've never been the type of person that and when my son went to build his home, I said, please tell me you're not building it upstairs. To me, that's a waste of space. Your kids are finally going to grow up and move out, and then what are you going to do? You're going to have all that room upstairs, and nobody's going to occupy it. He said, no, Mom, we're not building it upstairs. Hey, Auntie Mama. Turkeys and deers are in the yard every day. We only live 3 miles from a lake where I duck hunt. Oh, wow. Well, we live about 2 miles from Lake Lincoln, which is a state park. And it has a lake and cabins and places to camp. And, you can cook out there. And it has a pavilion. And it has an area for the kids to play. It's really nice. How are you, Auntie Mama? Welcome in. Where you been, Auntie Mama? I looked to see if you were live when I went live. I didn't want to interrupt you, and I didn't see you. I said, Auntie Mama must be sleeping in this morning. Natasha. That's funny. We sold our 2-story house and moved into our Earth Contact home. What is a Earth Contact home? Boy, you throwing out words that I don't even know. A Silver Lab, now a Earth Contact home? Boy, I'm learning something today. I don't even know what that is. I absolutely hate meat. Yeah, some people are like that. I love vegetables myself. I could eat vegetables all the time. It's a single level house that is mostly underground except for the front. Oh, awesome. Yes, I was sleeping, and most Sundays I'm not live. Oh, okay. Oh, now I've seen those homes, but I didn't know that's what that was called. So, how's your electric bill? If you're underground, that's got to be cost effective as far as utilities. Now, I would like to see that. Let me go back and see what the. It really is a lot cheaper. Let me see. Let me see something. It's called a Earth Contact Home. Are you hearing all this, Auntie Mama? I've seen a couple of houses like that in Charlotte, here in Charlotte. Wow. I bet it's good when bad weather comes. Just get down and see. A lot of people are shocked about the South because we don't have basements. I mean, basements here in our area are unheard of. We do not have basements. I don't know. We thought about putting in a wood stove, but it would just get too warm. I bet it would. Which we have, of course, a fireplace, and I love my open fireplace. You know, a lot of people put in those fake logs and gas logs and all that. And I told James when we moved in, I said, I do not want gas logs. I want real, want you to split the wood, cut the wood. I want a fire. I don't want gas, which our house is electric and gas. But in the winter, our fireplace will heat the front of our house and halfway down our hall, which when we sleep, we want to sleep in coolness. So that worked out perfect. I am up early, girl. I've been up since 5. What are you doing up, sister? Ella, Ella, Ella. Yeah, I usually try to go live early on the weekends. But during the week, I have so many auctions to go to during the week. Speaking of auctions, yours is one of them. More flowers are blooming. You're still in the bed? Good for you, Ella. I am so glad to hear that. You work so hard, and you are always doing something. I am glad to hear that you're still in the bed, Ella. You need it, honey. I I think about it sometimes when you're on doing your auctions and how much you do, and I'm thinking that woman needs to get some rest, especially when you start naming off everything that you do on a weekly basis. Oh Lord. Auntie Mama, what's the weather where you are? What you gonna do today? Ella, what you got going on today? Have you got an auction going on today? The bird flew back. Oh, you're just now having your first cup of coffee, Auntie Mama? Oh, thank you for the chat, Mike. Have a good breakfast. Going to be longer now. No auction as I start packing up. You take care too, Mike. Thanks for dropping by. Well, you're doing the right thing, Ella, which you always do. Pack up, start packing now, even though you're going to be moving in a couple of months. That way, it won't be the last minute thing, and you getting rid of a lot of things. That's going to help. When are you getting your next pallet in? Or did you find a place to get pallets? I can't remember. Auntie Mom, are you going to church this morning? I don't know when James and I get the van, that the SUV or the van or whatever, to drive my wheelchair up in. Long story, hopefully this week. I hope so too, Ella. You and those pallets. I do not know why it's so hard to get pallets, but I'm not in that business, so you know more about it than I do. Um, when we get the SUV or the van that I can just ride my wheelchair up in, I may start going to church with my daughter. She and Lincoln started going to church, and I may start going with her and let her just drive the van. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. It is so cool here this morning. I don't know what to think about these cool days. I know one thing, I'm going to miss them when they're not cool. Tell you what, it's coming. Yeah. I hadn't been able to go to church because um the way James works, he's the one that has to put my wheelchair on the back of the Jeep and tie it down and make sure it's secure so it won't fall off. And then Taylor has Lincoln. That means she would have to get to church, get him settled, come back, unload my wheelchair, get me in the wheelchair, get me in church, come back, put him in the car, load my wheelchair up. I was like, no, that's just too much trouble. I'm not going to put her through that. When I get my van, I can just wheel up in there and, in and out. It'll be easy. Auntie Mama, we're getting things out of the garden now. We're getting squash, and we got our first squash, uh, bell pepper, banana pepper, our broccoli. Everything looks really good. Tomatoes, cucumbers. Hey, Flawless, how are you? Thank you for all the blessings. Y'all missed it. My neighbor walked by with his dog. He was walking his dog this morning, and he was my geometry teacher in high school. He lives right down there where that house is orange on the roof. If y'all can see it, that house right there. He and his wife live there. They've lived there for years. And he taught me geometry in high school. And needless to say, math was not my... Now, don't get me wrong. I was always an A-B student. I made good grades, but... Oh, I didn't like math. Oh, I know, Auntie Mama. Rain, rain, rain. We have had a lot of rain, too. But we had sunshine yesterday, and I told James, I said, oh, the garden's getting sun. It's getting sun today. But we're going to be begging for this rain come July and August. It's probably going to be so dry. that we are not going to know. We're going to be begging for rain. But that's the way it goes. My little neighborhood's so quiet. I'm so thankful it is. I don't want to live somewhere where it's um so much noise and commotion going on. When we went to visit Matt a couple of weekends ago, and we had to go through that traffic, I told James, I said, I could not live here. Yeah, our green beans are coming, but they're a little small. I know it. I know, but it needs more sun. Yeah. Our green beans are doing good too. We call them pole beans, but they're really snap beans. Green beans is what they are. And we planted butter beans, a few. But you know, butter beans are a lot harder to pick than peas. Which James, he won't eat peas because when he was growing up, they were very, very poor, and they went through a time in his life that he said, I think we had peas for breakfast, lunch, and supper. And I ate so many peas when I was growing up, I can't eat any more peas. So he won't grow peas, but he'll grow butter beans. But butter beans are harder to pick because they're on a bush. And you have to look under that bush and, oh my goodness, but they're good to eat. So we got butter beans, broccoli, squash, tomatoes, cucumbers, bell peppers, banana peppers, okra. A lot of people don't like okra, but I do like okra. I like it fried. You know, this is the first time we've had a garden in 2 years. We were trying to let our land rest. Hey, Dar, how are you doing, honey bunny? Welcome in, welcome in. What are you doing this morning? I'm just sitting out here taking in the fresh air and drinking my coffee. Oh no, Dar. Are you back in the hospital? I am so sorry. Hey there, Kathy. Welcome in. Oh, Colleen. Hey, honey bunny. What you doing? I am so sorry, Dar. I wish I had your email address so I could email you. Um, Colleen, I've been seeing your daughter on Facebook. I see you got her back home with you. I know you're happy about that. How are you this morning? What are you doing up this early? Didn't you have a sale all day yesterday? Aren't you tired? Oh, I know you are. I know you are. It's something about that with children. I don't know what it is about us mamas. We mamas, or whatever you have, ever how you say it. Dar, I hope you get to feeling better soon, dear. I thought you just got over pneumonia. Yes, I'm exhausted, but up another day. Is it going on again today, Colleen? Are you having it again today? Baby D. Baby D. No, yeah, you needed a rest, Colleen. You really do. You need a rest, honey. You work so hard. I don't see how y'all do what y'all do anyway. Oh, coffee shop tonight. That's right. It's Sunday. That's right. Oh, I'm waiting on James to get home from work. Oh, I didn't see all of it. All of it didn't show up. Baby D. Is that what you were putting? I didn't. All of it didn't show up, Dar, because I honestly didn't see it on your page. Colleen, what's the weather in New York? What y'all got going on up there? Is it cool or is it warming up now? All I see, Dar, is Baby D. Is that at gmail.com or where? What is that? Yeah, I'm afraid it's going to get hot this next week on us too. Flawless is speaking to everyone. I don't look forward to the heat coming. I'm telling you, I do not look forward to it, especially July and August. Dar, how long have you been in the hospital? Colleen, do you like your new wheelchair? Oh no, since last Sunday? Bless your heart. You must have had a bad case of it. I wonder why you can't get over the pneumonia. Yes, such a freedom. It is. It is. Look, when James, which now I have my old wheelchair, electric wheelchair, and I got my new one, of course. And when he goes to load one of them on the back of the vehicle, I'm thinking, well, I have a backup because I had to live without my electric wheelchair for 2 weeks one time. And I literally was just stranded. I felt like I was stranded on an island. And it's my lifeline. I'm not joking. When you get used to an electric wheelchair and you have to go without it, it just, well, actually, it's my legs. So when I don't have it, it's like I don't have my legs. I can't go. That's why I'm here. Oh, I will, Dar. I will. I saw part of it. I saw Baby D, but I don't know if it's Gmail, Yahoo. Um, I'm assuming they have you on oxygen and all that. Do you know when you're gonna get to come home? Honey, I spent 45 days in the hospital one time. And now when people mention hospital to me, I just lose it. Which I had to go back in January and stay 7 days, but it wasn't like 45 days. Oh, maybe tomorrow. Well, that's good. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put mine in the can I put stuff in the chat? I've never I've never known if I could comment while I was on live. I usually go live. Okay, hold on a minute. I'm gonna add you as a mod, as a standard mod. Now type Dar, and you ought to be able to put it in there. You was there 3 months, almost 3 months, Colleen. Oh, you know exactly what I am talking about then. Try it now, Dar. Um, I cannot with the hospital. I had to after I stayed a month. I had to go to a swing bed and stay what 2 more weeks to take physical therapy to learn to get strength because I had lost so much strength at the hospital. I had to get physical therapy to get stronger in order to come home because I stayed at home by myself a lot because James works. So that's why I had to stay 45 days, is because they didn't want to send me home and be as weak as I was. If it hadn't been for that, I could have come home in 30 days. But I missed 45 years of my life I could never get back in a hospital room. There you go, Dar. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all, I'm moving it around like crazy. After this live is over, I usually go on StreamYard. Can you go back and see the comments? Love you, Dar. I'm so sorry that you're in the hospital. Let's see if I can save that. I think I did, yeah. Anyway, James will be home in a few minutes. I got to cook breakfast, and the daughter and grandson will be out after church. And Colleen, I'll see you at the coffee shop tonight. Is Tracy doing? She seems to be doing pretty good with um. Bless her heart. She broke her wrist. Now she broke her ankle. I just don't know what she's gonna do next. I'm gonna tell you something. A broken bone is not easy. I broke my ankle. I have 10 pins and 2 plates in my left ankle. I broke my shoulder. I didn't start breaking bones till after I was 40. Never had a broken bone until after I turned 40. You too, Auntie Mama. I love you. Have a good Sunday. Oh, I know there's another bone I've broken. Let me think. Of course, I've broken fingers and toes before. Having a broken bone is not fun. I'm just going to tell you. Especially if you have to have surgery. I had to have surgery on my shoulder and ankle. Man, my broke ankle was, my leg was straight and my foot was laying over to the side with the bone sticking out. That's how bad it broke. And I want you to know they set my ankle in the hospital with no pain medicine. I felt like, oh no, this must be what those men on the battlefield felt like when they had nobody to help them, when they're fighting war and all that. That doctor grabbed my foot and was trying to set it. And he said, I can't give you pain medicine because you have a pacemaker. And you've already been put to sleep once to set it. And I can't do that again because you're fixing to have to go into surgery. So he grabs my ankle and my leg and goes to try to set my ankle without any pain medicine. I thought I was going to lose it. I literally, okay, Dar, I love you. I'll talk to you later. I literally thought I was going to lose it. I'm not joking. I said, you got to hurry up. You got to hurry up. It's killing me. It's killing me. You got to hurry up. Um, and then when I broke my shoulder, my whole arm came out of the socket. It was dangling beside my body, and it wasn't even attached to my body. Now that's a weird feeling. When one of your arms or legs is not attached to your body and it's just dangling there, that is weird. And I grab my arm and I pull it toward me. And I'll check that, Colleen. Uh, oh, okay, thank you. Um, I pulled it and put it back in place in my arm, in my socket. And when I did, I went straight to my knees. I mean, I went to my knees. It hurt so bad. But then after it got in, it was like such a relief. It's like, oh, okay, it's back attached to my body. It's back attached to my body. And I'm telling y'all, it was a mess. It was a mell of a hess. I'm gonna tell y'all that. Uh oh, people riding up and down the road, waking up this morning. Yes, dislocated. Yes. Hey, Susie Woozy. How are you doing? I'm back again this morning, dear. Talking about broken bones and dislocation of bones, and I'm telling you, it was a mell of a hess. Auntie Mama, why aren't you monetized on my channel? I just realized that. I don't even know what I was thinking. You can type now and you ought to be blue. I thought for sure, because I didn't break a bone till after I was 40. I thought, okay, well, I'm good to go. I won't break a bone anymore till maybe I got in my 70s and, fell and broke a hip or something. I'm good to go. I won't be broke a bone my entire life. Boy, was I fooled. Unless I had a wreck or, something uncontrollable. But I just stepped out my back door one morning going to work and fell out the back door because our little poodle was under my feet. And that's when I broke my ankle. 10 pins and 2 plates later. Yep. And I hollered, James, James, I broke my ankle. I broke my ankle. Hurry before I pass out. He comes to the door and he's like, because he's broken his ankle and he's got 10 pins. No, he's got 11 pins and 2 plates in his ankle, and it's the same ankle. And he broke it 11 months after we had been married. But when he saw my ankle, he was like, oh gosh, we got to get you to the hospital now. We got to get you to the hospital now. If the pain sets in, it's going to be horrible. So and of course, I weighed a lot less than I do now. So he was able to get me up in the back seat of and luckily Taylor was still here living. She was going to college. And, or she might have still been no, it was college, I think. And, they get me up in the car and get me to the little small hospital. Get me in there. They give me something, put me to sleep, and set it and wrap it up and said, we got to send you to Jackson. They're going to have to do surgery. You have messed it up really bad. So we go to Jackson, which is the big city where we live. And he comes in there and says, I got to get an x-ray of your ankle. I said, no. I said, they already did x-rays at the other hospital. Just get those x-rays. Don't undo the wrapping because it's going to fall back out of place. He said, ma'am, we have to have our own x-rays. So he unwraps my ankle after they had done set it and everything at the other hospital. And then when he goes to put the wrapping back on, oh, we can't put you to sleep. We gotta set it without putting you to sleep. I said, what? He said, yeah, we got to do it because you've already been put to sleep. You have a pacemaker. You're fixing to go into surgery. You can't be put to sleep that many times. And he grabbed my foot and my leg without any anesthesia, and he went to trying to set it. I thought I was going to lose my mind. And then after he said it, he said, well, we'll see you back Friday. Now, this was on a Monday. He said, we'll see you back Friday to do surgery. I said, no, you won't. They told me that they were going to do surgery in the morning. That's why I came here. I would have went to another hospital had I not thought you were going to do the surgery. You're not sending me home with all this pain for me to live 4 days and you wait for me to have surgery. It ain't happening. So, of course, James, he's like, you best go back and call that hospital right now. So they go back and call the hospital out where I originally was. And he comes back and he said, oh, I'm so sorry. You're right. They're going to do surgery in the morning. And they did surgery. Oh, I don't want to have to go through that ever again. I tell you what, if you break bones, you'll never forget it. I had to sleep in a recliner for 3 months after I broke my shoulder. I told James, I said, I'm never going to sleep in the bed again. Because I couldn't lay flat. Every time I tried to lay flat, it would hurt. Yeah, Auntie Mama. James was going to make sure they listened because he was rearing up like a bulldog. He was like, no, she's not going home. You said you'd do surgery, and I knew if he took me to another hospital, they were going to have to unwrap it again, do their own x-rays, set it all over again, and I just started crying. I was like, I can't go through that again. I can't go through with them setting my ankle with no anesthesia. I can't do it, James. I can't. They're going to have to do the surgery here. He said, don't worry about it. They're going to do the surgery tomorrow. You ain't got to worry about it. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought, I hope he don't take this hospital hostage. Y'all don't know. James can get all beside himself when it comes to one of us. When it comes to me or his children, ooh, that man, he can go from 0 to 9,000 in about a split second. The last time I went to the hospital, in January, I wanted something to drink. It was about 2:30 in the morning or 3, and I didn't want water. I wanted a Sprite. So the nurse comes back in there and she said, you can't have it. You can't have a Sprite. You've done had too many Sprites. I said, ma'am? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, he did. I said, what do you mean I can't have a Sprite? She said, no, ma'am, you drink water. Like I was a little child. So I called James at 3 o'clock on that morning, and I told him, I said, they won't give me anything to drink. The nurse came in and said I couldn't have Sprite. I had to drink water. He said, hold on, I'm coming. I'm coming. Don't worry about it. So he gets up at 3 o'clock, gets dressed, comes up to the hospital, and I hear him out in the hall. And he is giving those nurses what for. So I text him on his phone and I say, come in here now. And they're telling him, he said, my insurance will pay for anything that she wants. And when she wants it, she better blank blank get it. And what the head nurse was saying, you need to calm down. You don't need to be talking like that. And he said, I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and come up to this hospital to get you to give my wife a Sprite. I'll go buy some Sprite and put in your refrigerator and you can give it to her. I mean, he come in the room and I was like, James. And it wasn't 2 minutes later, they were bringing me Sprite to my room. And from that moment on, everybody that walked in my room was like dripping with honey. They couldn't have been any sweeter, any nicer. Anytime I said I wanted anything, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We'll get it. No problem. It was so funny. Because it wasn't because of him. It was because when the doctor came in that morning, I told her what had happened. The way the nurse did told me that I wasn't getting a Sprite. And she said, what? I said, yes, she told me that I wasn't getting a Sprite, that I needed to drink water. And she said, oh, no. That's not gonna fly. And she said, I'm pretty sure I know exactly who it was. And, but from then on, nobody treated me unkind. Let's just say that. And what y'all have to realize, James is a very tender-hearted man, and he has a good heart. But you don't want to mess with his wife or his children. Because when that happens, he just becomes a totally different person. Hospital staff and what kind of yeah. But James, he has always stood up for any time that he thought that we were being mistreated. There's the bird back again at the little door. My daughter is a nurse practitioner, so anytime I have had hospital or surgery, I get treated very well. They don't want me getting my daughter involved. Exactly. I seen it myself. I had to straighten a couple of nurses out when they saw me coming. It was like, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah. They tend to straighten up when you confront them about stuff. I mean, who is she to tell me? I mean, I just asked for a Sprite, and she just lost it. And just like she was my mama, oh no, you're not getting a Sprite. You're going to drink water. And I thought to myself, you don't know my husband, lady. And just because I'm here by myself doesn't mean that he's not just a phone call away. And I'm about to call him right now. That's what I was saying to myself. And I called him. And not to mention that he had to get up at 3 in the morning to get dressed to come up there. That was already not setting well with him. Wake up out of a sound sleep. You know, one of your loved ones is in distress. All right, I think I hear my man just drove up. I'm going to get off here. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. See you all later. Bye.